Yupi, selamat sore. Hari Minggu, saatnya mengejar Harada. Wait, ini kemarin dari mana ya? Oh, baru pamit sama Nagapura. Okay. We did our emotional farewell to Nagakura, parting ways with him and the people of Utsunomiya. With that, Sanosuke. Okay. Sanosuke and I packed our belongings and traveled down the mountains path back to Edo. After a few hours of walking, I inhaled deeply, taking in the cliff's mountain air, and Sanosuke suddenly turned to face me.
体きつくねえか。ここらで少し休んだ方がいいか。
And he looked so good at the heart. Siapapun yang ide dia pakai rompi bukan jas. Terima kasih. What do you mean by my body?
だから、ゆうべあんまり寝てねえだろ。
Oh! His casual mention of the previous night sparked a vivid memory that I hadn't anticipated discussing. Oh, sis Shine. I sheepishly averted my eyes away from him. My cheeks felt as though they were on fire. I was hot from my face to the back of my ears, which made me even more nervous if Sanosuke were to notice. I kept my gaze firmly fixed on my feet. I'm fine. But are you okay, Sanosuke? Son? I wonder if she actually used son. Like, Sanosuke-san sounds so good when... I don't know, it feels so husband and wifey.
俺はまあお前に比べりゃ体力はあるからな。
oh. That's not what I meant. I had to think carefully about how to phrase the concerns I had in my initial question. Although Sanosuke had assured me that he was truly content with living for Edo with me, Nagakura's memory would linger with him forever. And it couldn't have been easy to tell someone with whom you spend most of your life goodbye. It was a delicate situation, and I wanted to make sure that, in discussing it, I hadn't upset Sanosuke by suggesting that I was questioning his sincerity. This is so relatable. View in this road is so relatable.
じゃあもう少し歩くか。休みたくなったらすぐ言えよ。
I will. Thank you. Ya kadang kita pengen bahas sesuatu, tapi kayak takutnya dianggap salah gitu sama orang lain. Walaupun maksud kita tuh nggak buruk gitu. Tapi ya namanya cara komunikasi orang-orang tuh beda-beda dan kadang mau nggak mau ada misunderstanding dan pada akhirnya karena aku malas meluruskan, aku mendingan gak usah dibahas sekalian. Continuing down the paved road, I watched the glow of sunset slip away into the distant horizon.
今夜はここで野宿するしかねえか。
I'm out. Sanosuke dropped his things down and started preparing a spot upon the ground to build a bonfire. Oh, okay. That's a really smooth transition.
夜までには宿に着けると思ったんだが、段取りが悪くてよ。
Oh my god. Well, We are engaged. Technically, we're engaged. Stop calling me kid. Oh, no. I apologize for walking so slowly.
先に休んでていいぜ。俺が火の番をしててやるから。
I don't mind watching the fire.
いいから言うこと聞いとけって。少しだけでも寝ておけば明日は楽になるからよ。
Someone's guy's voice was gruff, and he told some woodpiece, sitting nearby into the open flame. It amazed me that even in after hours of mundane walking, he could still be considerate of me. But I think should be good. His insistence almost made me feel guilty for refusing the first time. Alright, then I'll take you up on your offer. Good night, Sansuke. I rested my head against the root of a nearby tree, resting atop the soft grass, and shut my eyes. All of the soreness in my body seemed to melt away, and I dozed off immediately into pleasant slumber. In the comfort of my morning, I began to dream.
大丈夫かい？
Oh,
お粥を作ったから食べなさい。
sumpah, nggak ngerti sebenarnya bapaknya tuh sayang nggak sih sama Mio? Kayak niat awalnya ngadopsi itu emang karena sayang atau emang pengen digunain untuk merevive Yukimura clan. Father, I can't stop coughing.
おたふく風邪だから熱さえ下がれば心配はいらんよ。
Moms? What's moms? That's right. Father cared for me dutifully, especially when I had grown ill from the monks when I was younger. Even 5 or 6 years later, when I was first practicing my handwriting, Father took the time to invest himself in whatever it is I was doing.
今日は何を習ってきたんだね。
Some history about Edo and Chinese calligraphy. My teacher says that we don't need to study calligraphy now, that we should all start learning Dutch studies soon.
いや、蘭学も今や時代遅れらしい。イギリスやフランスの学問の方がずっと進んでいると聞くからね。
Okay, makes sense. Because makes sense for him to know because he's dealing with Western medicine, right? I'm sure he knows. Really? Wow, times sure are changing. Yes, what is it?
その気になる相手などはいないのか？
What do you mean by that?
だからほら、お前もそろそろそういうことを考えねばならない年頃だろ。
What do you mean by this sort of things?
いや、だからその
berarti enggak. Kalau dia nggak ngerti, berarti enggak. Father had shifted uncomfortably, gulping discreetly to clear his throat. His silence told me all that I needed to know. He had suggested that if I ever were to fall in love with a man, he would want to know. Revisiting the memory of this time inside of my dream was peculiar and bittersweet all at once. I used to be carefully unbound to anything or anyone. Father, as I had known him for my entire life, was nothing but gentle and loving. But now, I was tasked with the responsibility of taking his life and ending his cruel, salacious plot. Father, the memory of his smile, warm and jovial, was fading slowly, replaced with the sinister gleaming in coffee. I reached my hand out, hoping to touch his familiar face before it vanished into the haze. Just then,
しっかりしろ。
yeah? Is that a nightmare? My sleep was interrupted by the sensation of being violently shaken, and suddenly my eyes shut open. Yeah? Sanosuke? My entire neck and back were dripping with cold sweat.
大丈夫か。ずいぶんうなされてたぜ。悪い夢でも見たのか。
That's a nightmare? Isn't that like a really good memory of your father when you were a child? Oh, was I saying anything? Like, did I talk in my sleep? Sanosuke bit his lip, turning to face in another direction. His gaze was fixed on the orange flame, flickering lightly to the dark to beside us. She's probably calling his father's name. She's her father's name.
ああ、言ってた。父様って。
I know it. As soon as Sanosuke confirmed it, I was flung back into the dream from which I just awoke. Did I really stand on the chance of stepping further? His life was in my hands, and when the time came, I wasn't sure if I was ready to make that decision.
お前、平気か。
I don't know, I
覚
don't
悟は
know,
できてるのか。
I don't know. Ready? Sanosuke's question touched fiercely upon what worried me most. It was like he was a mind reader. I was sure that his question hadn't only referred to dealing with my father, but I had to ask myself if I had gotten in over my head. Or perhaps I misplaced my trust in Sanosuke by expecting him to accept this undertaking with me. Undertaking? Is it undertaking? Is that killing? At least I hope so. I told him that. I don't know. What should I tell him? I think I can't tell him anything because this is already 100%, right? I should be ready. I want still doubtful. I don't know. If you had that dream, then you're probably doubtful. But we have come this far. You're ready. I'm ready. Because I have you with me. I believe in you. I won't let my doubts get the better of me in the future either.
そっか。お前、か弱そうに見えて、意外と肝が据わってんだな。
Oh, really? What about you, Sanosuke? I wonder if he was worried about the whole thing. Perhaps he questioned if he made the right choice. Or if he was only going through the motion out of sympathy. And that he had a latent desire to go back in time so he could be fighting with Nagakuro. Let me rewind. To be honest, I still have my doubts. Oh, hello. Hello. I decided to be candid about my feelings. As in, what choice I have made and everything we left behind in getting into this position. I'm not sure there will ever come a day where I don't pine about the way things used to be, or for the company of the people we love. It's like you said last night, Sanosuke, every decision has its consequence, and there's nothing we can do to stop worrying about them. I dwelled on the thought of what Sanosuke might have had to sacrifice to join me in this journey. It was likely that I would never repay a debt of this magnitude back to him, which was crushing to me. Our bonfire crackled in the background, filling the space of our awkward silence. Oh, is that Code Geass? I've never watched Code Geass, but I know Lulo, and I really like their new soundtrack. What's that? I think that's Code Geass. Running in my head or something. The one that sung by Miyabi. It's really good. But there's no turning back now. No matter how much I may want to. Time and time again, I've gone back to and forth with myself, fighting the anxious thought in my mind whenever the tough decision needed to be made. Except for one decision, which was... Oh, what the heck? I chose Sanosuke of all people as the one who would hold my fragile heart. Oh my god, he's so cute! To another moment of silence, Sanosuke spoke. I just got Geass at episode 4, so I'm rewatching it technically, and it's actually awesome, but it was better what this was. Yeah, sometimes you just need to get a bit mature to know if something is actually really good or not. I used to get bored watching, what was that? Full Metal Alchemist. But then one time I rewatched it when I was older and I think, what the heck, this is so good. Political mature type of shit, yeah. I really like political. But I don't know if I can actually watch mecha.
似たようなことを考えるもんだな。
Then he gently rested his hand upon my shoulders. I gasped, staring back at his alluring gaze, and my heart tightened in my chest. He tenderly gazed the side of my cheek, tracing a line underneath my chin before tilting my head upwards. I froze. Oh, I've never watched Full Metal Panic either. Is that my cartoon? Yeah, I don't really watch mecha. I think... what was that? The Gundam. I really want to watch that Gundam. Orphan something. I really do, but I started to watch like 2 episodes and then I got bored. Well, I'm interested in that voice actor, so... Oh my god, what the heck is this? This is so intimate. What? Oh. He whispered gently, and I shut my eyes as he had instructed. My heartbeat sped up to the pace of a demon. All I could feel was the warm tingle of Sanosuke's finger against my pale face. I've been here before. I know what comes next. The space between our lips closing, the warmth. How could I ever forget? Why is it so cute? My otome. I suddenly felt his moist lip press against mine. Something about this kiss was different to our first. Sanosuke, fierceness, got the better of me. No haram. they're, they're technically married. Nor was it similar to the second time we had kissed. It was an intimate moment born from the essence of our eager, desperate hearts. This kiss, however, felt like something new, a token of comfort during an emotionally trying time. It was gentle and hushed. Our lips were tenderly cupped together like sand guarded in the palm of our hands, carefully not to let any grains slip from under our delicate embrace. What the heck? This is so poetic. No, it's not a scene when you did it with your husband. This is not a scene. Neither of us seemed willing to part from the other, as if we were holding on to one thing giving us life. Or at least I felt so I felt. What other words could describe this feeling? Even as my heart seemed ready to burst out of my chest, as my cheeks seemed determined to light a blaze, I felt a blessed calm take hold of me. As our eyes met, he kissed me once more. This kiss was completely different. It was passionate, like he had put all of himself behind me. Sanosuke with my lower lip, nibbling on it as he pushed his tongue further and further. Okay, I'm not gonna read. Oh my god.
現金なもんだな。
Huh?
あれだけ悩んで揺らいでた気持ちが今は嘘みてえに落ち着いてる。それどころかいいよで切腹騒ぎを起こして、だけど死に損なって結局脱藩しちまったのも、その後江戸で新八や近藤さんたちと出会ったのも、みんなで一旗あげようって今日に来て新選組を立ち上げたのも。
Yeah, I'm not reading that. That's crossing the line. Maybe that was Sarah, maybe. Oh my god! This is so sweet. My husband. What do you mean you had to go to meditate on Himalaya just because of a kiss? This is fiction. Grow up. Let's go. You're an adult now. Hearing Sanosuke speak so candidly about his true feeling made the hair stand over my entire body. Fiction is haram, then stop watching Code. I too couldn't help but feel fate pull us together. How I originally arrived in Kyoto in search of my father, how I came to reside under the custody of the Shinsengumi. All of it had a purpose, which was introducing me to Sanosuke so that the two of us could spend our lives together until the day we died. Then otome game is also an exception. It felt like we had discovered a real revelation, as if the universe conspired to bring us together in some sort of divine miracle.
何が起きても壊れねえ関係ってのに憧れてるって前に言ったかもしれねえが、どんな夫婦でも最初から強い絆で結ばれてるわけじゃねえんだろうな。
They said earlier is the hardest time. Early marriage is the hardest time.
何度も迷って立ち止まって、その度にこうやって互いの気持ちを確かめ合って、そうするうちに少しずつ本物の夫婦になっていくんじゃねえかな、きっと。
I told you he's my husband. It's not haram. Don't listen to otome addicts. I only listen to otome addicts. This as we've done so many times in the past. Although there are times when our insecurities get the better of us, when everything seems pointless. No matter what, I could rely on Sanosuke and his support. Having him beside me makes me a stronger woman. I love him so much! Whatever trepidation I burdened myself with in the past, he gave me the confidence to take them on. I was sure of it, our hearts were becoming forged as one. The steel of our love is being tempered under the heat of our extraordinary journey in this traveling time, giving us the bond Sanosuke always whispered. Best of all, we created together. Oh my god. They're literally meant for each other. Just making like that. I really like that emoji. I use it all the time. By a stroke of luck, Sanosuke and I managed to avoid any detection from the Imperial Army troops, passing the North Senju Sekisho and returned to Edo. But
あいつら隠れるぞ。
Okay, is that a fuse? Sanosuke and I ducked low to the ground, eyeing a trim bush to the left of us and darting behind it. From a hidden view, we watched a group of armed men clad in Western uniform passing through the street. Once they marched out of sight, we slowly crawled from behind the bus back onto the main road.
たく、江戸城を明け渡してからまだ一月かそこらしか経ってねっていうのに、新政府のやつらすっかり我が物顔で江戸をうろつき回りやがって。
It's already 1 month. What should we do? Well, in the 68, I'm sure 1 month is a really fast time.
とりあえず行動さんや羅刹どもを見つけ出さねえことにはどうにもならねえが。
Right, but since Sanosuke too had been dressed in a Western uniform, There's no doubt we would have aroused immediate suspicion in any crowded area. You're right. We can pretend to be a normal villager. But by going into hiding, we would be denied any opportunity to succeed. If left unchecked, my father could turn the city into a den of nightmares. Just then, she ran away. Oh, I forgot his name. Ibuki? We caught the sudden notice of a youthful man staring at us from the other side of the room. Hmm? Oh no! I felt my stomach drop, feeling the possibility that he could report us to the Imperial Army. Just as I prepared for Sanosuke to tell me to
あん
run.
た、もしかして原田か？
What is that, a new hand? Ibuki, you look good. Sanosuke jumped, slowly turning his head to look over his shoulder at the man. His eyes blinking and shut twice in astonishment.
誰かと思えば龍之介か？生きてたのかよ。
Yeah, Ryunosuke Ibuki. I know him from the anime. The prequel anime.
ああ、見ての通りだ。ってここにいると新政府軍のやつらに見つかっちまうかもしれないから、とりあえず俺の家行くぞ。
I had absolutely no idea who this man was. The warmth in that conversation gave me the impression that the two were friends, but were we in any position to trust someone living in Edo at this time? Hmm? I gulped anxiously, but Sanosuke rested his hand firmly on my shoulder.
行こうぜ。大丈夫だ。こいつは信用できるやつだからな。
Yeah! I didn't expect to meet him here. We snuck quietly through the narrow Edo alleyways with the young man as he led us back to his home. From what Sanosuke told me later, his name was Ibuki. He was an old friend of Sanosuke's and the rest of the Shinsengumi from back in their humble beginnings.
しかしまさかあんたがまだ江戸にいるとは思わなかったな。新選組の大使連中はみんな北に向かったって聞いてたんだが。
That's an interesting kimono. Sanosuke momentarily flicked his eyes at me before responding to Ibuki.
いろいろと事情があってな。お前の方こそまさか絵師になってるとは思わなかったぜ。意外な才能があったんだな。
Sanosuke glanced at the walls in the back of the room, which were neatly arranged with paintings next to Ibuki's palette and paint supplies. He set the beautiful works on display while Ibuki's rough cultural images scattered on the floor.
まだ見習いだけどな。食べていくだけでやっとだよ。それで食っていけるんだから大したもんじゃねえか。俺一人じゃとても無理だったよ。でも、
he's blushing. I noticed Ibuki's cheek become a tad rosy. Just then. Oh wait, he has a wife? The door behind us clicked as it slid open and someone stepped silently into the room.
大したおもてなしもできなくてごめんなさい。初茶ですが、どうぞ。
So cute! A young woman whom I assumed to be around the same age as myself entered the room with a tray of tea. Her hairstyle was so feminine and elegant. As she took her seat beside Ibuki, the two of them held hands intimately. There was the hint of a loving spark between them, a sort of playful exuberance in their demeanor, that led me to believe that there was something of an item. Something of an item that clearly has been in life.
誰かと思えば島原で舞妓やってた嬢ちゃんじゃねえか。
Oh, that. I remember her.
名前は確か小鈴って言ったか。
Kosuzu-chan. Oh, Kosuzu was a stage name.
覚えていてくださったんですね。その説はお世話になりました。小鈴っていうのは島原にいた頃の芸名で、本当の名前はしずって言うんです。
Shizu bowed politely to Sanosuke before turning to face him.
こちらの方は。
My name is Yukimura. Very nice to meet you. She greeted me with an odd look as I rushed to introduce myself.
間違ってたらすみません。女の人ですよね。
Oh, yes. I regret to say that I cannot disclose my reason for doing so, but this is a disguise.
そうなのか？
龍之介さん気づかなかったの？
言われてみれば男にしちゃ線が細い気がしなくもなかったが。
Oh my god, that's so in character of Ibuki.
男の髪型と着物なんだから男だと思うだろう普通。
僕年人なのは相変わらずだな。
You dope. Sanosuke pat Ibuki on the back jokingly as the latter parted in genuine confusion.
でも原田と二人きりで江戸に戻ってきたってことは、あんたらもしかして。
I was uncertain of how to respond and being anxious, I began to fidget timidly in my cushion on the takami.
そりゃあ決まってるじゃない。原田さんはきっと女の人といい加減な気持ちで付き合ったりしないでしょうし。
Oh. It appeared that the subtext of my and Sanosuke's relationship was glaring obvious to them. Sanosuke, however, seemed completely unfazed by the suggestion.
まあそうだな。
Sanosuke broke into a proud grin. Hearing him answer the question so eagerly only served to make me even more embarrassed. I dropped my eyes to the floor out of nervousness.
にしてもあんたも大変そうだな。
What do you mean by that?
原田なんかと一緒にいると心配でしょうがないんじゃないか。
What do you mean?
命知らずだし短気だし、気に入らないことがあるとすぐに手が出るし。
原田さんは女の人には優しいわよ。ね、雪村さん。
Oh. I don't think I should say I'm used to it. Yes. He's very kind. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm back. I'm ready. Oh. Okay. I was unsure whether or not I could speak with Kanda about mine and Sanosuke's relationship to people whom had just been introduced, but yes, he is quite a gentleman. It wasn't difficult to say how I honestly felt.
もともと女の人には優しいけど雪村さんには特にかしら。
oh, oh. Yet again, I was confronted with a social quagmire. If I had answered yes, then I was worried that I would seem too enthusiastic about him, almost to the extent that I would seem conceited. Luckily for me, I suppose, Sanosuke was quick to pounce on an opportunity to answer for me.
そりゃ特別に決まってるだろう。嫁さんになる女なんだから。
I jumped in my question with glee. I wanted so badly to express some words of gratitude, but I had been so taken aback that nothing came out.
たく幸せそうな顔しやがってのろけられちまったな。
ごちそうさま。
The two of them took great amusement from poking fun at us, but I suppose it was something to get used to. Halo, itu temennya Harada dari zaman dia masih tinggal di Edo sama istrinya. After exchanging a few more pleasantries, Sanosuke slurped the rest of his tea and placed his cup down. As he let out a heavy sigh, the mood in the room changed. He spoke with a low, harsh tone.
ところでよ、今江戸の状況はどうなってるんだ？
Ya, yang rambut biru sama yang cewek rambut hijau itu dia udah nikah berdua.
あんたらが見た通りだよ。江戸城を明け渡してから新政府軍のやつらがでかい顔をしててな。
Noses in the air.
少しでも怪しまれるとすぐに連れて行かれてしつこく取り調べられるらしい。
Is there no one in Edo with the will to fight? Hasn't anyone tried to do something yet?
幕府側の人間全員が江戸城を明け渡しに同意してたわけじゃないらしいからな。将棋隊ってやつらが上野の寛永寺に立てこもってるらしいし、
Shogi Company?
新政府軍もそいつらをどうやって抑えるか頭を悩ませてるんじゃないか。
Wait, Shogi Company bukan Shinsengumi?
場合によっちゃ江戸中を巻き込む戦になるかもしれないしな。
Minggu sama Haradanya kapan? Sebentar lagi ya, tunggu undangannya. I shuddered to think that the implication of a civil war could mean for Edo and all of its citizens. Surely I knew father would be at its epicenter. My knees soon buckled. I was struck with a horrifying vision, the streets littered with corpses, which were feasted upon by legions of ravenous furies. I couldn't help but glance at Sanosuke with a concerned expression. He returned the gesture, furrowing his brow as he gazed deep into my eyes.
おい、どうしたんだよ。
The truth is, my father is the mastermind.
まさかあんたたち上野に行くつもりじゃないだろうな。
決まってるだろう。俺たちはそのために江戸に戻ってきたんだからな。
nggak akan nikah sebelum membasmi kejahatan. Sanosuke's response was deadpan, and Ibuki shifted uncomfortably in his seat.
考え直せって。将棋隊だけでも何百人って軍勢が上野に集まってるんだぞ。もちろん新政府軍側にはそれ以上の兵がいるはずだ。あんたたち二人が行ったところで何ができるって言うんだよ。
別に新政府軍相手に戦を仕掛けるわけじゃねえよ。俺たちが戦うのは奴らとは別の連中だ。
Ya, satu orang doang.
別の連中？
My father mau minta restu soalnya. Ibuki was befuddled, scratching his head dubiously. Sanosuke hadn't seemed interested in cluing him in, however, and declined to answer Ibuki's question. Shizu picked up on his awkward tension and...
ねえ龍之介さん、お二人にはそろそろ休んでもらったら？江戸に戻ってきたばかりで疲れてるでしょうし。
あ、まあそうか。
悪いな、気を使わせちまって。お前は先に休んだらよ。
Yeah, what about you? I would be lying if I said that I wasn't incredibly curious as to what Sanosuke and Ibuki were going to discuss if I went to bed. But considering the two of them were longtime friends, I was sure there were plenty of stories to exchange. Alright then, I shall prepare for bed.
奥へどうぞ。あんまり広くはありませんけど。
I nodded politely to Shizu before bowing to the two men as Shizu and I exit the room. She escorted me to the modest guest quarters, and because our tips from Utsunomiya included many nights spent in camp out in the wilderness, as soon as I rested my head onto my pillow, I dozed off immediately. It was unclear to me how much time had passed, but oh, kebangun kah malam-malam? I woke up in the middle of the night and hadn't seen Sanosuke anywhere next to me in the futon. Next to me? My first inclination was that he had been engrossed in conversation with Ibuki still. I sat up, trying to focus my hearing for any sound of their voices, but I couldn't hear a thing. Out of concern, I dragged myself out of the futon and quietly tiptoed into the hallway. I poked my head around, seeing Caesar in the next room doing some stitching on a piece of fine cloth.
あ、雪村さん、もうお目覚めですか？
What? Yes, I couldn't get back to sleep. Hey, I don't happen to see Sanosuke or Ibuki anywhere around. Do you know where they went?
あの二人なら外で話をしてくるって言ってましたけど。
Ya emang gak apa-apa. Kan Harada pakai baju western. Aside, did Sanosuke actually live in his western uniform? Right. It would look very suspicious. What if a group of Imperial soldiers were to spot them? I think I'm going to check up on them. I bowed quickly and sprinted out of the room. I flicked my eyes back and forth until I spotted the two of them talking just outside the house. Oh, like I had suspected, they were absorbed by their conversation, and Ibuki was gesticulating wildly. It seemed neither of them had noticed I was present.
あんたたちが上野に行かなきゃならない事情はよく分かった。どうしてあんたが長倉や平助と別行動をとってたのか気になってたんだが、みんな自分の道を見つけたってことなんだな。
まあ、そういうことだな。
あいつらのこと気にならないのか？仲良かっただろう、あんたら。
Well, after this I can, visit them.
寂しくねえって言えば嘘になるが、道が分かれちまったってことは、俺やあいつらが自分で決めた道を歩いてるってことだ。お前もそうだろ、龍之介。
Ah, iya juga. Ibuki agreed silently, nodding his head as he tilted his gaze downward as the sun rose. After a moment, Ibuki murmured under his breath.
でも勝算はあるのか。今の話が本当なら新選組にいた羅刹より始末が悪い奴らが新政府軍についてるんだろう。
賞賛があろうとなかろうと父親がやってることを見て見ぬふりができる女じゃねえんだあいつは。
As I was eavesdropping, I picked up that the she Sanosuke mentioned was in fact me, and my heart skipped a bit in my chest. Sanosuke went on confidently, and Ibuki listened intently while stroking his chin.
あいつの目的は俺の目的だ。花から他の道なんてねえさ。
If you ask my younger self what she thought, she would have felt utterly unworthy to Sanosuke's word of praise. Guilty to think that someone valued her feelings enough to dedicate his life to her. But if you were to ask me of the present day, I would have answered with nothing but confession of adoration and unwavering love. Astaga, bucin! I want nothing more than to return the favor, as there was no one else in the world I cherished more. This sentiment intensifies with each passing moment.
お前だって多分俺と同じ立場なら同じことをするはずだぜ。
For a while, Ibuki kept his eyes fixed on the floor, refusing to react in any way to Sanosuke's explanation. Sanosuke took the initiative by breaking the
見え
silence.
てきたな。そろそろ中に戻るか。
He murmured quietly, spinning around across the house entrance when I darted back inside through the front door, rushing back to get into the futon before he did. Thank you, Sanosuke. As long as the two of us are together, then I believe that we can conquer whatever challenge we face. Terharu. The next night, Ibuki and Shizu saw us off. We were able to recuperate our strength, and together we bid our two gracious hosts farewell before making our way for Ueno.
そんじゃあ二人とも世話になったな。
Yes, indeed. We are so appreciative of everything. We will send you a token of our thanks soon.
こちらこそまたいつでも遊びに来てくださいね。
She's so kawaii. Shizu smiled warmly at us, but Ibuki gazed wistfully off to the side. Given how recently they had reunited, it was understandable to think Ibuki was reluctant to send his friend off so soon, especially to Ueno.
ほら、龍之介さんもちゃんと挨拶しなくちゃ。
いいよ。話ならもう夕べのうちに済ませてあるしな。
済ませてあるからいいってものでもないでしょ。挨拶はきちんとしなきゃ。
Ibuki grimaced in discomfort, but after Shizu's prodding, he timidly approached Sanosuke.
覚悟を決めてるやつにこんなことを言うこと自体無粋なのかもしれないが。
Ibuki cut his sentence short, his voice trailing off towards the end. He began talking, taking deep breaths, hoping to muster the courage to speak as his voice trembled at his waist. At long last, he spoke his piece.
死ぬなよ、原田。絶対に。
Sanosuke's eyes widened incredulously. At first, he simply opened his mouth without saying a word, but after a moment... Nah, jadi tidak akan mati. Ah, sakit.
当たり前だろう。惚れた女を置いて俺だけ死ぬわけにはいかないだろ。
That's his brother. That's his brother. Oh my god. Sanosuke grabbed a fistful of Ibuki's hand, wrestling it playfully as he delivered his assuring words. Ibuki, however, was in no mood to joke. His lips were tightly pressing into a line, and it still seemed as though he was restraining himself from speaking his mind. Sanosuke chose not to press the metal. Instead, he stepped close to Ibuki, patting his old friend on the shoulder. That's not the shoulder, that's the head. You could have a fistful of Ibuki's hair tuh gimana? Dijambak.
俺たちはいろんなしがらみから解放されるため
Ih, papa banget gak sih?
自分たちの未来を作るために戦いに行くんだ。死んだりしねえよ。
They seem to put Ibuki at ease, even if just a time.
そっか。
Smile from his lips are different.
さ、原田。
ん？なんだ？
もしあんたがいなかったら、俺、今こうしてここに立ってなかっただろうし、シズと一緒になることもなかったはずだ。本当に、ありがとうな。
Ibuki's angering sentiment coaxed a small chuckle from out of Sanosuke.
いや、そんなことはねえと思うぜ。
Iya, bapak nasihatin anak. Cocok. Sudah cocok jadi bapak. There's no way I can take all the credit for that.
俺はただ背を押しただけだ。前に進むことを決めたのはお前だよ。
Although none of us seemed too keen on parting, we bid our final farewell to Ibuki and Shizu, and Sanosuke and I departed for Ueno. After our two friends were out of the shot, Sanosuke leaned over to whisper discreetly in my ear.
新選組にいた頃とは見違えたな、龍之介のやつ。
Really?
昔のあいつは車に構えてるくせに腹をくくらねえところがあったんだが。
As Sanosuke began catching up on his reflections, a small smile curled in his lip.
男ってのは守るものを見つけたとき、ようやく覚悟が決まるものなのかもしれねえな。
Sanosuke extended his gloved hand towards me, reaching for my hand as he grasped it tightly. Oi. With a newfound resolve, I gave his hand in return. I don't think man should take all the credit for changing when it comes to meeting the person you love, no? Ah, Sanosuke pointed his eyes toward me. I momentarily looked back at him, smirking as I continued with my point. Since the moment you told me you love me, Sanosuke, my heart had been made up. My heart could rest assured that no threat of pain could deter me as long as he and I were together. No matter what obstacle we may encounter, I refuse to let fear dictate my action.
女ってのは強いもんだな。
Sanosuke continued hastily down the mountain's path, heading in the direction of Ueno. But our arrival could not have been more poorly timed. As Ibuki had informed us, the Shogi company confined themselves within Kan-e temple in Ueno, fortifying the territory to protect from invasion. The Imperial Army, however, completely surrounded the premise, stationing rows of soldiers and small encampments around the perimeter of Mount Ueno. Although it seemed as though the Shogi company had resisted the Imperial Army well enough, by the time of our arrival, victory had fallen into the hands of the Imperials. Sanosuke and I hid behind a thick wall of trees beside the opening of the trail leading to Mount Ueno. Sanosuke, do you really think my father will pass through this road?
多分な。あれだけの数の羅刹を連れて移動できる道は限られてる。連中もまだ羅刹をなるべく人目にはさらしたくねえはずだ。とすると、夜のうちに動くしかねえ。
Oh, karena itu kita berangkatnya malam-malam. Oke.
将棋隊の奴らの死体が腐りきらねえ今晩のうちに来ると思うぜ。
Oh, I just my hand down toward my waist, wrapping my finger around the heel of my kodachi anxiously. Would father come just as Sanosuke had said? And would I truly be able to trot father? Sanosuke rested his hand upon my shoulders. Without saying anything, he picked up on my nervousness, offering me a small gesture to comfort me. It was enough, and my heart settled into manageable pace in my chest. I had to remember something. I wasn't alone. In fact, the man I had loved most was sitting here in the darkness beside me. Just as the thought crossed my mind, a gang of footsteps echoed in the distance. It wasn't only a dozen, or even 2 dozen feet. As they marched closer to us, I could have sworn they were numbered in the hundreds, perhaps more. Ratusan. It was inconceivable to think that this many soldiers could have mobilized at such a late hour. Doubly so, considering the battlefield had been long since vacated. Which could only mean... I popped my head from behind the trees to get a closer glimpse at whom the footsteps had belonged. Hah? Penjahat ke asli. Serem gak sih? Kayak zombie. Hundreds of crimson eyes peeking through the darkness. Tuft of white hair dot the hair of every soldier marching in formation, like apparition floating in the back of a night. At the end of the formation is... Oh, father. My kind, jovial father who raised me as a single parent ever since I was a young girl. I had to set my feelings aside. That mission could cost me my life. This mission. And I was ready for the consequence. I tightened my grip around my kodachi, ready to leap out at him at any moment. Sanosuke stuck his arm in front of me.
ダメだ。まだ行くな。いくらなんでも羅刹の数が多すぎだ。
Ya gimana cara memisahkan dia sama virus-virus itu? But Sanosuke was right. They outnumber us 100-1, and making ourselves known prematurely could have spelled disaster for us. Even with the rage of Sanosuke's spear, there was no way for us to challenge them all at once. But if we miss this opportunity to strike, then we might lose sight of where father was heading. I panicked to myself as I wondered what to do when... Oh my god, it's the runway! I found myself startled by the sudden crack of gunfire. Through partially covered eyes, I watched a speeding bullet rip through the chest of a marching fury as he toppled over and fell to the ground. Could it be? Gak pernah sesenang itu melihat Shiranui. Shiranui called out to father, and smoke floated from out of the barrel of the pistol in his hand.
これは知らぬい様。いや、もう様などとつける必要もないか。先日は私の可愛い子供たちと遊んでくれてありがとう。おかげで改善すべき点がいくつも見つかった。古い鬼もたまには役に立つのだな。
Kenapa yang ditembak nggak langsung bapaknya aja sih, kepalanya gitu? Father's facetious statement made Shiranoi's cough.
てめえ、長州のやつらまで巻き込みやがったな。てめえが勝手に羅刹を作って楽しんでる分には知ったこっちゃねえが、都合のいいことを並べ立ててあいつらを騙したことだけは許せねえ。
Shiranui, I'm so proud of you.
何のことだか。私は騙したつもりなどないのだがね。
とぼけんじゃねえ。今日の戦いの指揮を取ってたのは長州の連中だろうが。
だから巻き込んだりはしていないと。私の研究の成果を聞き、落ち水の改良に協力したいと言ったのは欧州の人々なのだから。
なんだって。
江戸城も落ち、徳川慶喜将軍は謹慎中。新政府軍の勢いはとどまるところを知らない。だがそれはあくまでも日の本国内の話だ。幕軍を片付けた後はさらに大きな敵と対峙す
Sumpah
る
ya,
の
dia
だ
tuh benar-benar pengen nguasain dunia itu ya.
イギリス、フランス、アメリカ、そして世界最大の領土を誇るロシア。
Dan Rusia beneran kayak tinggal sampingnya Jepang.
圧倒的な工業力と兵力を持った西洋の国々が虎視眈々と我が国を狙っている。
ああ、そうだ。あいつが高杉が上海に出かけた時、西洋人が秦国の連中をまるで犬っころみてえに扱ってるのを見て、近い将来日本も絶対こうなるだろうって思った。そうならねえためにこの国をもっと強い国に生まれ変わらせなきゃならねえってな。
そうだろう。長州藩士たちが私の研究を高く評価したのも当然のことだ。西洋と渡り合える国を作るには金と技術、そして強い兵が必要なのだからね。この乱世、日の本の独立を守るためには強い兵を生み育て、最強の軍事国家を作るしかあるまい。
そのために羅刹の実験をしてるってわけか。
その通り。羅刹ならば死を恐れることはない。心臓を貫かれぬ限り死ぬこともない。何があっても後退などしない最強の軍隊が出来上がるのだ。
Shiranui is called irritable, seemingly incapable of tolerating my father's monologue for much longer. Oh my god! At last, Shiranui lashed out and interrupted father.
確かに高杉は新しい国を、どこにも負けねえ強い国を作りてえって口癖みてえに言ってやがったさ。だけどな、あいつは血ヘドを吐きながら戦場に立って病でボロボロの体を引きずって。
Sumpah aku jadi penasaran Takasugi itu kayak apa sih orang?
血の塊を吐いてくたばっちまう瞬間まで人間だったぜ。ひ弱で大した力もねえし、ちっぽけですぐ死んじまう。俺が嫌いで嫌いでしょうがねえ生き物のままだったよ。
Shiranui was slowly losing his composure, shaking violently as he barked at father. An internal dilemma raged inside of Shiranui. At one end, Shiranui harbored a deep hatred for humanity and its people, and at the other hand, he still hadn't properly mourned the death of his friend.
そんなあいつがこんな最悪の戦い方を望むはずがねえ。
やはり分かっていただけないか。では仕方ない。
Father snapped his fingers before screaming a command at the Furies looking behind him.
さあ、羅刹たち、そこにいる鬼の血を存分にすするがいい。
No sooner than when the world moved Father's mind, I watched the rows of crimson eyes glow with enthusiasm as they all focused on Shiranui. Banyaknya.
Nani?
Before Shirano had any chance to react, the police surrounding him and block any path to escape. They formed a ring around him like a pack of lionesses encircling the hunt, readying themselves to pounce at any moment.
Sarika!
Oh my god, their best friend! Sanosuke left from behind a hiding place. He threw his spear overhead with both hands, and as he swung it downwards, it connected with the skull of a nearby fury, cracking open its forehead. Oh my! Aku gak bisa bayanginnya, kamu bayanginnya. Because of the Fury's languid movement, Sanosuke was able to thrust them blindly with wild swings.
てめえは
助立ちするぜ、シナノイ。
Gantian!
胸くそ悪い話を延々聞かされて、ちょうど腹渡が煮えくり返ってた頃だ。
バカ野郎、誰も助けてくれなんて言ってねえよ。引っ込んでやがれ。
No, we have business with Kodo.
そうはいかねえさ。男ってのは強い者に敬意を払うのが当たり前だろう。こんなまがい者の強さをまかり通らせたんじゃ男が廃るってもんだ。
Oh. Sanosuke dug his feet into the ground as he got into a fighting stance as he jabbed his spear into the crowd. Its sharp point sliced through the thigh of its target. Splash of blood escaped into the air, followed by the chilling sound of a desperate jerk soon after. Wow! It was a gruesome scene as Sanosuke nearly dismembered the limbs of his opponent. Wow, peeling sinews from bones with the flick of his spear. Gila, aduh! Sadist sekali. Shiranu's eyes widened at the sight.
原田、てめえ、人間のくせして生意気なこと言ってくれんじゃねえか。
What do you mean he's hot shit?
高杉のやつが生きてた頃を思い。
Shiranu let off gunfire at the pack of incoming Furies. He aimed his bullet toward each of their forehead, which blew their brain cavities open. Bisa nggak sih deskripsinya nggak usah terlalu detail? Just then, I witnessed depravity beyond comprehension. One of the Furies wandered away from the pack. Ih, dia makan temennya ya. The Fury began stabbing the corpse of his fallen comrades with impunity before putting his mouth against their wound, lapping up their blood eagerly.
なんだよ、こいつら仲間の血をすすってやがる。新選組にいた羅刹の連中にももう少し理性ってもんがあったぜ。
I struggled to believe that at one point these were ordinary men, men with life, families, futures. But now, oh yeah, these Furies were glossy-eyed and docile, moving like mindless beasts in search for their next meal. As Sanosuke and Shiranui continued subduing them, the Furies only became more rabid as the stench of blood thickened the air. As I gazed in horror, the one responsible for this morbid display called out to me.
外にいるのだろう。出てきなさい。
Father appeared in front of me. In front of me, how? Smiling warmly as he beckoned me to emerge. I timidly stepped out of my hiding place to reveal myself to him. Father, why are you doing this?
日の本は外意に狙われている。これはお国のためにしているのだよ。
Guy? A pejorative term referring to foreigner. Oh, gaijin?
どうだ、
Oh.
素晴らしい生き物たちだろう。彼らさえいれば日の本は安泰だ。
Apanya?
そしてこの日の本を守りきれば新政府も我々の一族を存在には扱えまい。
I watched father's eyes twinkle with excitement as he rubbed his hands together. But it was beyond me to ever think that furies were capable of becoming a solution to our country's woes, as opposed to becoming its biggest problem. Do you seriously believe any of this, father? They were normal men, weren't they? All of them had lives ahead of them, friends, loved ones, people who care about them. Father let out a merry laugh, like he and I were having a friendly conversation over a cup of tea.
そんなものは取るに足らないことだよ。 この国をどこにも負けぬ強い国へと生まれ変わらせるためにはね。
Although his face and expression were familiar, his message was completely foreign to me, and I found myself repulsed every time he spoke. This was no longer the father I used to know, and even referring to him as father felt criminal. As his daughter, I had no other choice. It was my duty to undo the evil he was summoning. Oh. I tightly gripped the hilt of my kodachi, resting on my hip, marching in father's direction with my back straightened. I never thought I'd ever use this kodachi, nor had I ever expected to use it in order to take someone's life. But this is my duty. As I got within arm's reach of father, I slowly slid the blade from out of his cupboard. Then, huh? My eyes shut tightly and I drove the kodachi into the side of his ribcage. Kenapa harus nutup mata? Bapaknya nggak sadar. I had to squish a father's breast as I twist the blade in his abdomen. It was an unsettling sensation. Because the feeling of holding the kodachi in his body irked me, I quickly yanked it back up. As I opened my eyes, I jumped back in fright. What? It was the most distressing sight. I knew beyond the shadow of doubt that my kodachi was driven into his breast. Huh? Huh? Yet he had neither a scratch nor a drop of blood on him. My kodachi, however, was stained with a thick film of scarlet blood. A little tear appeared on the side of father's kimono as well. But for some mysterious reason, his blood had sealed. Oh no. Ah. Father barked with smug laughter.
素晴らしい、素晴らしいぞ、落ち水の力は。
No.
傷が治るのが早いどころではない。小立ちで刺されても痛みすらない。
He continued to laugh maniacally to himself, and hopelessness began to sink me. The furies around us continued closing and making me feel so small and pathetic. No, father, could better squeak out a sentence.
てめえ、羅刹になりやがったな。
ああ、そうとも。この力さえあれば恐れるものなど何もないのだ。
Bahkan kayaknya Demon aja kayak gak bloodthirsty. Bukannya jadi downgrade ya?
落ち水さえあればこの国を我が手に収めることなどたやすい。
I'm gonna cry.
羅刹は日の本を強くするぞ。最後の一兵になっても決して引かず戦い続ける本物の戦士の国にな。
Who's this man? I gently flicked my kodachi, sweating off some of the blood from me, and got into an offensive stance. From behind me came Sanosuke, who pat my shoulder and gestured me to stay still.
やめとけ。お前には人は殺せねえよ。
I already stabbed him though. But... Without another word, he stepped in front of me and pointed his spear in father's direction. He kept his back facing me as he spoke.
親殺しの罪は俺が背負ってやる。恨み事なら後で何十回でも聞いてやる。だから目を閉じてる。
There was no way I couldn't see this for myself. He and I were committed to one another. It meant our lives were inseparable, and I couldn't bear to have the man I loved shoulder the burden of killing my father as I watched from the sideline.
人間が何をするつもりです？その体に銃弾一発でも受ければすぐに戦えなくなる身だというのに。
Apalagi? Father twiddled his finger mischievously, clacking at Sanosuke with the face of a true demon. Then he slipped his hand into his pocket. Huh? Sanosuke, watch out! Whoa, 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 Father put a fistful of medical scalpel. From out of his pocket and threw them at Sanosuke as one would at kenapa medical scalpel? Bukannya itu kayak... Bukannya itu ujungnya nggak lancip ya? Buat apa dilempar? Sanosuke deflected 3 speeding scalpels by spinning his spear reflexively.
人間にしてはなかなかの腕ではないか。
Oh, ternyata punya dia lancip agak lumayan sedikit. Tapi tetap aja ini bukannya kayak rada rounded gitu ya. Father arranged 4 scalpels in each of his hand in the shape of a fan. He flashed a malicious grin and flung all 8 of the knives around Sanosuke. Mama ini gak tau kenapa kayak tiba-tiba jadi sangat unrealistic. Aku jadi pengen ketawa. One of them bounced off Sanosuke's spear as he swiftly parried an incoming blade. One of them pierced through the flesh of his right hand, with which he was using to carry his spear. Ah no! Another landed on his left recep, and Sanosuke bit his lip as he grimaced in pain. I instinctively covered my eyes. If the scalpel was enough to severely injure his hand, then he wouldn't be able to beat his spear. That's what I was saying. There's no way a scalpel can injure his hand severely.
手が使えなくなればもう戦いなど続けられまい。 それにしてもその槍の腕前、このまま死なせてしまうにはちと惜しい。どうだね、落ち水を飲まないか。お前ならいい兵隊になってくれそうだ。
Sanosuke mustered a confident smile after he pleaded it. It would take far more than Father's taunting to convince him to turn over the dark side. Dark side?
まがいものの強さには興味ねえって言っただろう。
Freak
そ
show.
れにな。
Ah! He curved his finger gingerly around the scalpel and yanked it out, and blood trickled from the wound.
こんなチャチいおもちゃが刺さったくらいで槍を握れなくなるなんてことはねえよ。原田佐之助をなめんじゃねえ。
So cool! Never had I seen anyone declare their resolve so fiercely. His amber eyes were ablaze with determination. It was a daring smile, akin to a showspoker.
今度はこっちから行かせてもらうからな。
Sanosuke pointed his spear with his hand, drenching in blood, and lunged forward with all of his might. Although Father gained power from drinking the water of life, they were not substituted for an actual experience on the battlefield. He lacked the reflex to dodge Sanosuke's spear. I watched the tip of Sanosuke's spear pierce through Father's spine, coated in dark crimson liquid. As he pulled the spear from Father's body, a splash of blood spurted onto the floor behind Father's feet. Just as quickly as the wound was inflicted, however, it had sealed itself back up again.
治ったとも。あっという間に。槍で疲れたのに痛みなど全くない。
このクソ。
Father moved slightly closer to Sanosuke, who thrusted his spear at Father's body relentlessly. Even the repeated stab wound could face Father, as he simply grinned in response to Sanosuke's seemingly futile request.
どうしたのだね。蚊に刺されたほどの痛みも感じない。
A thick layer of Father's blood was smeared over his own body. Yet he continued laughing, chanting at Sanosuke like nothing had happened. He became consumed by madness, losing what remained of his humanity with each step. Fatigue was beginning to set in for Sanosuke. His wings became dull and lifeless after appearing.
おや、もう限界かね。実に惜しい。もしお前が羅刹だったら確実に私を仕留めることができていただろうに。
What is this man saying?
人間というのは実に哀れな存在だな。
Shouldn't we? We need some help here, please. I need to save Sanosuke.
それではお前のムクロを私が育てた羅刹の血肉へと変えてあげよう。
Father grinned victoriously, pulling from his pocket another group of 8 scalpel. He cocked his hand back to aim his scalpel for Sanosuke's weakening body. No! Stop! Don't hurt my husband! The very next moment.
こいつを待ってたんだ。
Oh! It pierced straight right into his heart. Oh! Mati itu mah.
羅刹ってのは心臓を貫けば殺せるんだろう。人間より体力がある分長く苦しむことになるんだろうな。身から出たサビってやつか。
Oh shit, no, that sounds so painful. Blood gushed from father's mouth, dribbling from the side of his lips in a pathetic display. His hand fluttered in the air pitifully and had his regenerative powers to thanks for not being able to enjoy a swift death. From out of the blue, father called out to
お
me.
前は親を見殺しにするのか。
Please, pass peacefully. Tears began to well behind my eyes, and I clasped my hands together and prayed. I suppose there was no way to anticipate how agonizing watching him die would be. For me, it was the first time I'd ever witnessed the last embers of someone's life die out. Sanosuke suddenly thrusted his spear more deeply into father's chest. The chilling sound made my hair stand. Once more, father coughed out a mouthful of blood. Sanosuke yanked the spear from out of father's fist, only to immediately drive it back into the same spot with greater intensity.
あんたを殺したのは他の誰でもねえ。この俺だ。てめえの娘に親殺しの罪なんて着せようとしてんじゃねえよ。あんたにはもうこいつの親を名乗る資格なんてねえ。
My face was drenched with tears. I fell to my knees on the cold earth, scraping them as they went. It felt like something extracted my soul from my chest, leaving behind an empty shell of a person incapable of happiness.
目閉じてろって言ったじゃねえか。どうして言うことを聞かなかった？
Because speaking became difficult. My throat was unclosing, perhaps as an expression of panic. But I had to say one thing. Because this was something I need to do. I shouldn't have asked you with this burden alone, Sanosuke. I wish we could have dealt with it together. Oh, he's always hugging me.
行動さんを切るところなんてお前にだけは見られたくなかったんだけどな。もしかして幻滅したか？
I could just as easily say that I am as responsible for killing my father as Sanosuke was. It just happened to be quicker. He comforted me, stroking my hair softly as I nested myself against his soft, muscular chest. We stood quietly in each other's embrace. After a while, Shinsengumi emerged from behind the bushes.
こっちも片付いたみてえだな。
ほう。とりあえずこれで新政府軍の羅刹隊は全滅か。
そういうことになるな。
Oh my god! Semuanya dihabisin? Shiranui answered quickly and I watched his brow furrow as he scanned our surroundings.
悪いな。長州の連中が迷惑かけちまって。あいつら、ただ焦ってるだけなんだ。行動が言ってた通り。まだこれから戦わなきゃならねえ相手が5万といて。日本って国が好きだから、どうしてもなくしちまいたくねえから、無茶をしてでも強く従う。
Yes, I understand. Shiranui wore a melancholy expression, and suddenly I thought of his old friend Takasugi. Thinking about how much Shiranui had cared for Takasugi, how much he had sacrificed for his friend's well-being, I had nothing to criticize him. Shiranui, I remember you telling us before that you believe you were soulless, but I'm not sure I agree with that. I mean, look, everything you've been through, from serving your friend's master, to losing Takasugi, and then to now, I'm sure they're all so proud of you. We might have differing opinions about what have soul means, but that's how I feel. I remember Shiranui sitting with contempt as father mocked Takasugi's death so casually. Something clicked inside Shiranui, and suddenly he pressed my father at every turn, hoping to thwart him and protect the innocent people of Edo. I think if Takasugi were watching Shiranui from the afterlife, it would have elated him to see his old friend passionately carrying on his legacy. Contrary to what Shiranui might think, I believe his idea of a soul captures something unique and essential to our experience as a living beings. We cope with our mortality by reminding ourselves of its frailty. We realize how precious it is when we understand how quickly it can all be taken away. But being able to pass on values, inspiring others, and dedicate themselves to something more, in this way we truly can live forever.
お前はその人間の男と添い遂げるつもりなのか？人間なんてすぐに死んじまうぜ。病で、怪我の悪化で、不慮の事故で。鬼とは比べ物にならねえぐらいちっぽけで弱っちくて取るに足らねえどうしようもねえ。
Oh, tunggu sebentar. Berarti kayak sebenarnya Miu sama Shiranui itu mirip karena kayak Shiranui tetap nemenin Takasugi sampai dia mati. Walaupun Takasugi itu manusia. Mungkin alasan kenapa dia kayak mencoba untuk ngajak Miu pergi waktu itu. Kayak momen dimana abis Takasugi mati karena kayak dia juga kasihan. What? I prepared myself to refute Shiranui's claim.
そうだろうな。人間ってのはあっけねえぐらい簡単にあの世に行っちまう。かけがえのねえ命なんてこの世にはきっとねえ。俺が今日で刺し殺してきた連中もそうだし、もちろん俺自身もそうだ。取るに足らねえ。いつ亡くなってもいい命でしかねえよ。
I knew that Sanosuke was speaking of a hypothetical situation, but having been so recently involved in a near-death encounter, I knew he hadn't. Sanosuke? I playfully reprimanded him. Sanosuke winked at me, then turned back to face Shiranui with a kind expression.
ただちっぽけで弱っちくてすぐ死んじまうようなどうでもいい命だからこそ与えられた時間を命燃やして精一杯生きるんだと思うぜ。意味がねえなりに意味を見出すためにな。
Shiranui raised an eyebrow at Sanosuke in response to his suggestive musing. After a moment, Shiranui curved his lips into a warm smile.
そういうことを抜かすから俺は人間が嫌いなんだ。てめえは勝手に燃え尽きてりゃいいかもしれねえが、残された者の気持ちってもんも少しは考えやがれ。
I hadn't been sure if I was just imagining things, but Shiranui's poignant comment had around some quality to it that rang honestly to me. It was clear that memory of his dear friend was something with which he wrestled daily. Although he knew that they would never meet again, accepting the truth was another thing entirely. Perhaps even demons could be vulnerable, and no amount of physical powers or healing powers could shield us from loss of what matters most of us. Shiranui spun around and began to walk towards the trail surrounding them. Oh, Shiranui! Where are you going now?
とりあえず長州に戻る。考えてみりゃまだあいつの墓参りもしてなかったからな。
Oh. You're going to Chosu.
ただ今後一切人間どもに関わるつもりはねえ。気に入った仲間を亡くしちまう気持ちなんてもう二度と味わいたくねえからな。
But what's going to become of this country? You and my father both mentioned that we'll need to prepare for the tide of foreign influence to keep our independence strong.
そりゃな。新しい日本を作った後、やらなきゃならないことはたくさんあるはずだ。だけど、そう悪いことにはならねえと思うぜ。
Why is that?
長州の連中がお師匠さんの大和魂とやらを受け継いでるんなら、なんとかできねえはずねえじゃねえか。どう転がってもそう悪いことにはならねえよ。ま、俺は魂なんてもん信じちゃいねえけどな。
Leaving us with a sardonic remark, Shiranui vanished, this time for good.
そんじゃ俺たちは俺たちの未来を作っていくことにしようぜ。
Anjay! Let's go!
特にお前は今まで辛い思いばっかりしてきたんだ。これから先は楽しいことだけ考えるようにしようぜ。
Aku sudah siap happy ending. I rested my hand in his, the hand of the man I love, and shut my eyes without saying a thing. Oh, final chapter. Weeks pass and Sanosuke and I cross the ocean together in search for our new home. Oh, kemana tuh? We found the quaint, secluded place that Sanosuke had always dreamed of, where the distant memory of war washed into the shoreline to a faraway place. Oh iya, memang pengennya tinggal di pantai ya. Our home was beside a cliff. Oh, beside the cliff, and every afternoon we watched the sunset descend into the sparkling horizon, stretching as far as the eye could see. It felt surreal to live this kind of life that, for me, had only existed in our conversation. Our dreams came true, and under a foreign sky, I spent my life with my soulmate. It was a bliss. I never imagined the possibility of seeing my dreams come to fruition. Of course, none of this would have been possible by myself. The view of the tin folk approaching from the other side of the ocean entranced me. From behind me, I heard a baby
おい、
crying.
なんとかしてくれ。こいつ何やっても泣き止まねえんだ。
Ya, anak udah. Okay, be right there. I asked him where I heard the voice coming from. Oh my god! There's the Sanosuke holding our wailing son tightly in his arm with a panicked expression.
こいつ、俺の何が気に食わねえんだ。
Oh my god.
お前がいなくなった途端、火がついたみてえに泣きわめきやがる。
You to laugh with him, Sanosuke. Babies are delicate. You need to be gentle when you hold them. Wanjai.
そうは言っても、男たる者、こんなことでビービー泣いてたんじゃ。
Oh, there you go again. They're just going to make him cry.
なんだと？
Oh, there. Don't cry, little one. Be a good boy, okay? I walk over to Sanosuke and stroke our son's face tenderly. His round face was so precious, and after a moment his crying began to calm.
せっかく男に生まれたんだから、一方の武士に育ててやりてえと思ってるんだが。今からこの調子じゃ先が思いやられるぜ。
Why are you placing expectation on a child that hasn't even grown his first tooth yet? Besides, there are no more samurai in Japan. At the end of the war, the Imperial Army claimed their victory and instituted the new age, later known as the Meiji era. Warriors, merchants, and civilians alike were all formally given equal class status, and samurai were all but extinct as the age of sword had ended.
確かに日の本じゃ侍はいらねえもんになっちまったが、まだ侍ってもんを必要としてる場所はあるはずだぜ。広い世界にはな。
You might have point. I stared intently at our son as he rested in the comfort of Sanosuke's hand. Oh, akhirnya. My prayers were answered when he was born a male. As my descendant, demon blood flows to his vein, just as it does through mine. Having a daughter would put her at risk in the same way demons sought to abduct me from the blood. Yeah. Sanosuke followed his blow, perhaps noticing the shift in my mood as I stared at our son.
平気だよ。お前のこともこの子のことも、この俺がきっと守ってみせる。たとえこの先何があろうともな。
I looked back at him, gazing into the amber pool of his eyes, and smiled. I believe him. Someday, our son will become a man. He will meet the woman of his dream and maybe even have a child of his own. If this cycle continues, I am sure that the demon blood will become diluted, leaving behind the ghosts in our past. As long as I should live, I trust Sanosuke to devote his life as a father and husband, and for the first time in my life, I felt truly safe. It inspired me to keep him safe as well, knowing that there was so much we had to look forward to. The two of us glanced at the azure sky dazzling above the ocean. This was our peace, and we earned it. When I turned back at Sanosuke, he winked at me. Happy ending banget gak tuh, mimpinya tercapai berdua. Final. Wah, ternyata benar ya, masih lumayan panjang diriku yang kemarin. Nama anaknya nggak di-spill. Iya ya, nggak di-spill. Tapi berarti anaknya itu half demon nggak sih? Yippee! Oh. Ah, udah lengkap. Banyak amat pelukan dan ciuman. Terlalu banyak gula ya, banyak banget gula di tutu ini. Tapi seru tau, kayak entahlah, kayak buatku ini paling seru. Kayak bunga-bunga kimononya, actionnya, terus kayak si Miyunya juga dia sangat relatable. Kenapa nggak gue pakai sama Hiske sekalian sih? Kenapa cuma bertiga, harusnya berempat? Hmm. Ilustrasi pertama di rute ini, astaga. Eh. Hmm. Itu masih muda. Buat doki-doki yang mana? Yang mana ya? Hmm, yang ini atau enggak yang ini? Yang ini juga sih, tapi ini kayak lebih gimana ya, lucu aja. Yang ini juga suka, tapi ini bukan doki-doki sih, lebih kayak ke apa ya, terharu gitu. Ini sih kurang ajar. Pada akhirnya emang Kabedon itu paling 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 ngena. Iya loh, emang gila orang ini. My favorite activity. Pelukan. Ini back hug, kayak ada macam-macam pelukan. Ada back hug, ada pelukan biasa, ada pelukan sambil dicium, astaga. Iya iya iya, iya, nggak akan lepas. Tapi ini sesuatu banget sih, aku nggak nyangka ada adegan ini. Not going to elaborate. Dikit ya kalau dipikir-pikir. Siapa, Sakamoto sama Iba. Gila, puas banget beneran untuk ini. Ini juga lucu. Punya anak. HAKUOUKI ini MC yang sebenarnya, karakter yang mana? MC yang sebenarnya, yang cowoknya. Cowoknya Hijikata. Aku belum main sama sekali. Bahkan yang zaman dulu juga aku udah main semuanya kecuali Hijikata. Ya, ini anak emasnya Hijikata nih. Kalau nggak salah bahkan rute dia lebih panjang deh, kayak yang lain kan cuma 4 chapter ya. Kayak Hijikata tuh 5 deh. Bukan? Prolog 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 epilog. Iya, berarti 5. Yang lain 4 semua. Itu 2, 3, 4, 5. Ya betul. Nggak ngerti itu apa yang terjadi bisa sepanjang itu rutenya. Indah sekali. Pasti banyak plot yang luar juga. Kayaknya mungkin I don't know. Aku belum pernah. Wait, kita juga banyak. Oh iya, lumayan. Iba mah. Iba juga suka sih. Tapi sejauh ini aku lebih suka Harada. Urutannya Harada, Iba, baru Sakamoto. Sakamoto entah mengapa nggak terlalu romantis untuk orang yang flirty. Wah, dia kayak super flirty gitu kan. Harada juga kayak tipe yang rada flirty, tapi kayak bukan tipe orang yang godain terus. Tapi romantis banget isinya. Iba ya, Iba. Nggak tahu mau ngomong apa. Iba cakep cuy. Iba kalau udah dipotong rambutnya cakep banget. Dan endingnya Iba kayak aku gak tahu ini happy ending atau bukan. Ya, punya anak. Ending Iba itu view-nya bukan lupa ingatan, tapi kayak apa ya? Dia kayak koma gitu kan. Tapi kayak nggak tahu komanya tuh berapa lama gitu loh. Tiba-tiba udah bangun aja. Yang dikasih lihatnya pas udah bangun gitu. Iya, koma dia. Terus screenshot. Terus habis ini gimana dong? Aku takut nggak bisa move on dari Haraja. Salah ya, atau kan dia tekir-tekir aja. Saito juga kayaknya seru, misterius. Kita. Jika sih karena belum pernah main sama sekali. Ada sesuatu yang pernah aku lihat, wait. Kalau nggak salah ada DLC-nya yang ada di part 1. Nih, ada kan ya? Oh, ada. Tahun 1966 masih 2 tahun sebelum 42 berarti. One evening, I had been walking back to the compounds with Harada after visiting Shimabara. Harada, was it alright for the two of us to leave before the others?
あの様子だ
rambut
と
lama.
チンパチや平介は明日の朝まで飲んでそうだしな。
No, 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 no.
そんなのにお前を付き合わせるわけにはいかねえだろ。
But I know that Harada likes drinking too. He probably would have wanted to stay behind and enjoy his night with his friends.
いいから気にすんなって。たまにゃこういう日もいいさ。
Thank you. As our conversation ended, we realized the only sound we could hear were our footsteps in the vacant streets, which had emptied after the bustle.
どうした？
Well, you were talking for a while with one of the geisha back at the table, so what were you guys talking about?
ああ、まあ大した話じゃねえんだが。
Yeah, really? Is it something you don't want to talk about? Harada usually never felt the need to skirt around subjects with me, which further piqued my curiosity.
いや、そういうわけじゃねえよ。あの姉ちゃん、物好きらしくてな。どんな女が好みなのかってしつこく聞かれてたんだ。
Oh, your preference in women, huh? I guess that was a relatively typical question to ask during a session where everyone is drinking. So, what did you tell her? I had no real expectation of what he could give as an answer, but I felt a mixture of curiosity and timidity bubbling in me.
好みなんて言われても、着物の柄やら刀のこしらえについてあれこれ言うのとはわけが違うからな。最初は好みじゃねえと思ってた女に惚れちまうこともあるし、逆もあるしよ。
Ya. Aku juga
そ
suka
の辺
gitu.
はあんまり言いたくねえんだが、強いて言うなら、
What is it?
どんな時でも嘘がなくて守ってやりたくなるような女かな。
Huh? So you want someone who's honest?
ああ、俺はこの通り察しがいい方じゃねえからよ。言葉ではっきり言ってもらわねえとわからねえとこがあるから、素直な女がいいかと思ってな。
I see. In that sense, Harada had no qualms with being blunt and letting someone know it. A woman who shared in those values would probably be a great for him.
お前の方こそどうなんだよ。
Pertanyaan sulit. Hah?
お前だって男の好みぐらいあるんだろ？土方さんみてえな色男か？それとも平介みてえに気さくで話しやすいやつか？
Definitely not Hijikata. Well, now he was putting me on the spot, and I had no idea how to answer.
他のやつには秘密にしておいてやるから、俺にだけこっそり言ってみろよ。
I wasn't sure if I could trust Harada with this kind of information about myself, but I think it would be someone who's strong but can be sensitive enough to understand other people.
金持ちだとか顔のいい男なんて答えが返ってきたらどうしようかと思ったが、お前がそんなこと言うはずねえか。お前割と男を見る目があるみてえだな。
You think so? Our conversation stopped again, and the sound of her footsteps echoed into the empty alley as we passed them quietly. Then Harada muttered to himself peculiarly.
男気があって人の痛みがわかるやつか。それって俺にも当てはまるよな。
Pwede banget bang. I had absolutely no ulterior motive as I told him all of that. But now that he brought it up, Harada did seem to match the description of someone I could consider giving my heart to. Oh. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it like that.
なんだ、俺のことを言ったわけじゃねえのか。残念だな、そりゃ。もしそうなら嬉しかったんだが。
What? My man blank as he seemed disappointed by my attempt to play off my embarrassment. He would have been happy. Was he just being nice? Or was he messing around with me? Or did he truly mean it?
どうした？早く豚舎に戻るぞ。この辺りは特に物騒だからな。
Oh, okay. Harada and I walked shoulder to shoulder back to the compound, moving with haste. But I couldn't get myself to ask what he had meant by his words, and leaving me to think as we walked. Mereka emang dari part 1 juga udah menggemaskan sih. Bakal jadi peluk-peluk sekarang. Rumusnya. Iya, biasa aja ya masih ya. Belum kayak ini juga salah satu scene kesukaan. Scene baik banget. Dan nyuruh Sen ngajak Miu jalan-jalan karena Miu sedih. Tapi dia ngikutin dari belakang. Okay. Ini dia grup fotonya. Ada yang berempat. Bagus dah seragamnya yang putih. Menurutku bagusan yang putih daripada yang biru. Yang biru kayak ya biru. Ya bagus juga sih. Tukeran. Tapi yang putih kayak wow. Rasanya kayak perjalanan Hakuoki itu udah panjang, padahal baru 3 rute ya. Gimana ini? Gimana ini namatinnya? Sedang bingung. Next siapa ya? Iya, masih ada 9 karakter lagi. Soma atau Sanan atau Okita atau Saito atau Hijikata atau Nagakura. Semuanya bingung. Saito. Oh, beberapa udah aku dapetin ya. Wait. Oh, kita juga. SK juga. Nggak ada. Aku sama sekali nggak ingat apa yang terjadi di rute Saito. Oke, let's go Saito next time. Aku buat 7 Oh iya, lanjutnya Iki dulu baru Saito. Tapi aku buat save jaga juga. Takut aku lupa. Iki udah menunggu-nunggu. Aku sudah kepikiran thumbnail yang tepat untuk Iki. Bukan untuk Iki sih, tapi untuk Amnesia. Siapa gimana ya? 15. Saito Hajime nomor 1 masih. 1 kalau gitu. File 50. Ada 50, banyak banget ya file-nya. Toki Memo dikit banget gak sih save file-nya? 20 berapa gitu. Mana nggak bisa di rewind lagi. Ini kayak sumpah ini enak banget tau main ini, kayak save file banyak, bisa di rewind. Terus tiba-tiba ada kayak aku bisa langsung milih chapter berapa yang dimainin. Ini benar memanjakan orang-orang yang mau mainin semua rute. Udah dibikin, belum dibikin. Nah, untuk saat ini aku mau pergi dulu. Pergi kemana? Aku udahan. Nggak nyangka cuma nyelesain kayak ginian doang. Berapa jam ini ya? 3,5 jam. Hari ini udahan dulu. Aku akan kembali besok dengan Iki. Aku dari jam 4. Walaupun banyak kosongnya sih. Oke, good night. Terima kasih juga sudah datang. Bye-bye. Oke, tunggu besok Iki.